Good morning, students. Today we will see demonstration for experiment number 2. So as I have explained in the class, in experiment number 2 we will be considering interfacing of button, that is keys, relay, buzzer with the microcontroller. Also I have considered LEDs also, so that you could able to understand the output. So as we have discussed in the class, according to the interfacing diagram, port 1 zeroth pin is connected to button 1. Port 1 first pin is connected to button 2, that is key 1 and key 2, which is defined as key 1 and key 2. Relay is connected to P1.4 and buzzer is connected to P3.3. So this is the definition. Simply we have a sign, instead of using the port pin number we are using it by its name. So we have two buttons, key 1 and key 2, and based on the operation of key 1 and key 2 we will be turning relay buzzer on or off. Now in the main body of the code we need to enable the crossbar to enable all the port pins. Since buttons are connected on port 1, so port 1 has to be configured as an input. Only two pins form port 1, that is 0th and 1 pin we are using. So we have written 0F value. So lower 2 pins are configured, lower 4 pins are configured as an input. Then relay is an output device, so it has to be configured as an output. That pin 1.4 has to be configured as an output, and LEDs are connected to P4, it has been configured as an output, and buzzer, that is pin 3.3, so port 3 is configured as an output for pin number 3.3. So this initialization is the configuration of port as an input or output according to the devices connected to those ports. Now in main program, according to our logic, we have decided if key 1 is pressed, logically it will be grounded. So if key 1 is equals to 0, then turn relay on. By writing 0 to relay, you are going to turn relay on, and by writing 1 to buzzer, you are going to turn buzzer on. As we know, if we write 00 to port 4, LEDs will turn on. So according to our logic, if key 1 is pressed, turn relay, buzzer and LEDs on. And if in between key 2 is pressed, then you have to break the condition of the first state and you have to go to the new condition. If key 2 is pressed, then turn LED off, turn relay off, turn buzzer off. So exactly reverse is the case. To turn LEDs on we have written 0, to turn relay on we have written 0, to turn buzzer on we have written 1, and to make it turn off we have written FF, 1 and 0 respectively. So a simple logic to understand the interfacing of button, relay, buzzer. If first button, that is key 1 is pressed, turn all the things on, and if second button is pressed, turn all the things off. So for the same we have written this code, we have saved this file, we have builded the code, get the hex file for this code, and you need to burn that file into the microcontroller. So we have to make the board in program mode. So press ISP button, red LED is on, then reset button. Now it is in program mode. Now go to the bootloader, open your bootloader, browse for the hex file, get the updated hex file for experiment number 2, open it, and you need to press download. So you have downloaded your code in the hardware. Now we will go for the hardware demonstration. Okay, so right now it is in program mode. To see the execution, we will press ISP button, then we need to press reset button. Now code is running on the board. To see the output, we need to do the hardware connections. So as we have discussed in the previous experiment, you need to refer the manual for the connections. So LEDs are connected to PL8. So we need to connect PL8 of AS board to PL6 of your microcontroller board. Your switches relay are connected on PL3 of ASK board, and port 1 is chosen from the microcontroller. So port 1 is available on PL3 and switches and relay is available on PL3. So we need to connect PL3 of microcontroller board with PL3 of AS board, and for buzzer and LEDs PL6 to PL8. So accordingly I will do the connection. So you need to connect PL3 of microcontroller to the PL3 of ASK board. By doing this, you have connected switches to port 1 and PL6 is connected to PL8. By doing this, you have connected buzzer and relay to the port 4. Okay. So to run your code, what you are supposed to do, according to our logic, we need to press button 1 and 2. So all of you please see carefully. What are the peripherals we have selected? We have selected LEDs. This is your buzzer and this blue is your relay. To indicate relay is on, there is a LED near relay which shows you LED that relay is on. So we need to, when button 1 is pressed, LED should turn on, buzzer should turn on and relay should turn on. But where are the buttons? So on this ASK board, these lower 4 buttons are provided. So we have connected these 4 keys of port. These 4 keys are connected to port 1. That's why we have written 0F to port 1. And out of those we have used key 1 and key 2, which are connected to P1.0 and P1.1. So according to my program, this first button is key 1 and this second button is key 2. So what is my logic? If key 1 is pressed, all the things should turn on. And if key 2 is pressed, all the things should turn off. So see carefully. This is the default status. Okay. Now I am going to press button 1. As soon as I will press button 1, I am pressing button 1. Now you can see LEDs are on. You could able to hear the buzzer and this LED indicates the relay is on. So button 1 is pressed, all the things are turned on. So we have successfully interfaced relay, buzzer and LEDs and the button. What is my logic? If key 2 is pressed, all these things should turn off. So now see carefully. Previously I have pressed this button 1. Now I will press button 2. So as soon as I will press button 2, I do expect all the things should turn off. So I am going to press button 2. As soon as I have pressed button 2, LEDs are off, buzzer is off and relay is also off. So this is what do we expect in our program. We have successfully interfaced these peripherals and this is the demonstration. Key 1 on, key 2 off. I think you have understood. Thank you.